Good day, OnCon Collective. How are you guys doing? It's a beautiful sunny morning right here in Dubai. And I'm just going to wait for a few seconds and get people to jump on board. It's just about 9:30 over here. So Yara's here, great. And nice if you can hear me, see me, if everything is cool. Could you just give me a thumbs up in the comment section, because I'm really working on a minimal setup over here. Hey Madhura, welcome to today's webinar. It's good to have you. So yeah, guys, if you can hear me, everything is great, perfect. We're just gonna wait for a couple more minutes. I think I'm getting a message from OnCon itself, and it isn't me, so I think that must be Chris McLean, my partner in crime, who is helping his friend move houses in Melbourne. See, that's the kind of things we do at OnCon. All right, while we wait for a few more people to jump in, I just want to tell you a little bit about us. OnCon Collective started off as a WhatsApp conversation between myself and Chris McLean, and then we decided, you know what, let's get more people. I think this is interesting. We want more opinions. We want more people to try out a lot of funky stuff along with us. So that's why we started the podcast channel. And then when COVID hit, it became a webcast channel. We started doing a lot of FB live videos. Chris McLean saying it's actually our fifth dimensional self, which is true. And it's for anybody. Well, it's not for everybody, but it's for anybody who is looking for ways to better themselves. You want to better yourself from how you were yesterday. You want to be more present. You want to be more aware. You want to try some radical ideas. You like exploring. You want to get more out of life, and you want to change some patterns. You've noticed some patterns that isn't really working for you. You want to change them. So that's what OnCon Collective is all about. So welcome. I think let's just jump straight right in. I have a few things before we start today's webinar. Number one is, if you guys haven't started looking at our Instagram page, we are very, very active over there in terms of sharing, in terms of conducting polls, in terms of updating you what we're about and what's next that we have on our plate to offer you. So all that is right up there on our Instagram. We've started exploring IGTV as well. So we've got some cool videos we've uploaded over there. So check that out. Instagram, you just got to search for Get On Conscious. Yeah, that's number one. Number two, I just want to say that this is a perfect time for you to grab your paper and pen, because we're going to be sharing some notes over here. This is going to be super interactive. How today's webinar goes really depends on your answers. So I'm going to ask you questions and try your best to respond. Put in what you have to in the comment box. That's gonna make the show great, as well as for you can reap more benefits out of the next 20 to 30 minutes. Number three, if the webinar today is a bit clunky, I really apologize, because I'm working on a minimal setup over here. I've got a couple of screens in front of me. Usually it's myself and McLean who host this. So we've got 4 hands. Right now it's just 2 hands. And then I've got a keynote presentation that I've done for you. So I've got to, share that screen as well. So if it's a bit clunky and you need some clarification, want me to redo something, or if something is not clear, please let me know in the comments as well. And number 4, I want to tell you that unconscious living is not for everyone. It absolutely isn't for everyone, okay? It is only for people who are willing to see the change, who are willing to transform, who are willing to be better version of themselves. Now, most people around us live in victim mentality. So those who really crave the change and the transformation, quite few. And it's glad that we're all meeting up here in OnCon Collective. So, it feels really great to be part of a tribe. Wants the same thing, but most people around us, they tend to look only at the negatives in life. live in victim mentality, they find excuses, they often play the blame game, and unconscious podcast or the webinar is not for them. It's for you guys who are right here with us today. So whether you're watching the live version right now or watching the recorded version, once again, welcome to the show. Now, before I dive into today's topic, I want to ask a few questions. I said this is going to be super interactive. I'm going to start sharing my screen right now. There you go. 5 tools to get ahead of negative vibrations is what we're looking at today's show. And I want to ask you, those people who are watching us today, Yara, Madhura, and the rest of you guys, tell me, have you ever walked into a room, whether it's a party, a birthday party, or whether it's a workspace or a coffee shop, you walk into that space and then immediately you have a feeling that that place is not right for you. You don't know what it is. I mean, the ambiance is great, the lighting is great, you can smell great food, you know that some of your best friends are having the time of their lives in the room, but then you walk into the room and then you realize that, what, I don't feel quite right about it. I don't know. I think I'm just going to leave. Or you tell yourself that, hey, I'm just going to hang around for 5 to 10 minutes and then, just check whether everything is going to be okay. And then, yeah, if not, I'm going to head out. Yeah. Yara definitely has. So she says, yes, she has seen that in her life. Great. Second question. Have you realized that meeting some people, you could be in the lowest of your moods or your vibrations or emotional state. You might be feeling really tired. You're not feeling quite like yourself. Yeah, you feel beside yourself. But then you talk to a person, or you meet a person, and all of a sudden your vibration shoots right up. You feel great already just by meeting this person or having a conversation. Or you could be watching a movie or doing something interesting, and then boom. So a lot of you have seen that, right? Okay, great. Question number 3, you have a hard and tired day at work. Then you come back home. You're like, oh, I'm done with life, guys. I'm done. You come home, you open the door, and then your dog comes running at you. Well, your dog can't speak, but then he's got this wonky ear and a waggy tail, and it's got that cute little teeth sticking out, and then you're like, all right, great, come on buddy, let's go for a walk. And your vibrational state just rises. Or it could be you feeling tired, sitting in front of your television, you just mindlessly flipping Netflix shows, and then your warm little fur ball comes and cuddles down on your lap, and then you feel, it just starts purring, and then it really hits you in the heart, and you feel so great after that. Have you felt that? Yeah? Great. Now, one more question. Have you ever felt that you are in a high vibrational state? You are vibing so high. You've got great intentions, you're in a great mood, and then all of a sudden, you talk to somebody. Somebody calls you. You speak, or you just speak randomly to somebody, and that person doesn't say much. But then you go, hey, hi, how are you doing? That person is like, yeah. And then you feel, yeah, meh. Yeah, we've all felt that. We've all gone through any one of these above situations that I have described. So, well, that's a great thing, because now I know that we're all on the same space, on the same wavelength. So we can dive right into today's topic of the webinar. Okay. So all of us do believe that, just hang on a second, I'm gonna let this go full screen so everybody can see what I am doing. Oh yeah, I think this is better. I told you it's gonna be clunky, so bear with me. That's better. I'm small and the screen is big. Here you go. Great. So all of us believe that our emotions, our thoughts are directly related to vibrations, energy. Yes, our relations, our thoughts equals to energy. Now, that's the first step. That's the first thing that we want to establish in today's webinar. So, before we go to the tools, this is what I want all of us to understand, that our emotions and our thoughts and our feelings are nothing but vibration. They determine whether our vibrations are up or low. And one of the great things that happens in our body is that we have three different brains that, oh yeah, we've got our head brain that all of us know about, but we also have the heart brain and the gut brain. And these three brains actually play a huge part in determining our vibrations. Now, how do they do that? We think, or we thought, that we receive information only through here, only through our head, yeah? So what we see, what we hear, what we touch, what we smell. So when we walk into a room, but everything looks great. I mean, everything smells great. It's a great music, but why am I not feeling quite right? Then that's where our heart brain, our gut brain comes into play. So let's look at the heart brain, the head brain first. Yeah, the head brain is, well, this is where you think, you understand. So when you say that, yeah, I think this is not right. I think this is a great place. I think it's a great decision. I understand what you're saying. I think the same too. So when you use words like that, you immediately know that you're using your head brain. And well and fine, because your head brain has close to about 86 billion neurons, not million, billion neurons. So using these neurons, your head brain actually receives information and then processes it for you to identify what you like, what you don't like, yeah, how you feel, how you don't feel. That's great. So that's your head brain. Now let's go to the heart brain. Our heart brain has 40,000 neurons. They're much lesser than the head brain, but this also means our heart is actually quite powerful, that it can function on its own without the brain. It can. And institutes like the HeartMath Institute have recognized this. They're doing a lot of studies. They've come up with a lot of scientific equipment to actually portray that love could be as the new transformational intelligence. So our heart brain, when you're using your heart brain, when you say, I'm sorry for what you're experiencing. Yeah, I really feel the same. Oh, I feel really bad. When your hand goes directly to your heart. I'm sorry for what you experience. I'm sorry for your loss. Wow, I feel really grateful. I'm grateful for this. This is amazing. So when you say that your hands go there, can you ever imagine if somebody says, I feel sorry for what is happening? I feel great. I feel amazing. I feel like, no, this doesn't happen, right? Because our body knows, our hands go intuitively, your hand goes directly to your heart. So that's your heart brain, which has 40,000 neurons. And your heart is also observing the world around you, and it also emits the energy. Now let's go to the our gut brain. So our gut brain has, anybody can guess how many neurons that we have in our brain? Anybody? Yeah. Someone say how much. So we've got our sorry, I just went out of Keynote Play because I want to see your comments. I need more screens. I need more screen, like a NASA lab or something over here. So yeah, look, our head brain has 86 billion neurons. Our heart brain has 40,000 neurons. Our gut brain has got about 100 million neurons. Oh, that's great. That could be a brain on its own. The gut feeling. We say they got the gut feeling. Yeah, we just say it as a parting statement, but this gut feeling is very intuitive. So you've got your head brain, your heart brain, and your on your gut brain will actually acts immediately. This is the one that detects fear and gives you the cortisol and the adrenaline. Cortisol, it's like your stress hormone, right? So a lot of people, they have fats around this chunky region over here, and that is mostly because they've got all this excess cortisol that isn't going anywhere. We're not necessarily being chased by a bear in the wild or a saber-toothed tiger or whatever it is. But then we're feeling stressed for something that we're not supposed to be stressed about. So where does all this cortisol go? We're not running anywhere. We're not expensing it anywhere. So it just stays around the gut, around this region. So you've got fats around here that you find it hard to move. It's possibly that you're feeling stressed for no reason. So anyway, that's a whole different webinar on its own. So we've got these 3 different brains that when we bring it into coherence, we can actually observe much more, and we can actually attain much more information, and that will help us affect our energy body. That's a cool picture. That this is not how our energy body looks like, but I thought it was really funky and psychedelic. But our energy body is for real. Now, science right now has come up with so many equipments to actually measure this energy body. People have different colored energies. You can detect it just by placing your hand on a sort of equipment. You can actually see, some people call it the aura. So the energy body is real, and this actually shows what your vibrational state is. Now, you don't have to go to an expensive institute or get some sort of like funky technology to detect your energy body. All you have to do is stay and be conscious and understand how you're feeling. Everyone good so far? So far, all good? Everyone's on the same page, or shall I say on the same slide with me? Thumbs up gives me something so that I can get some good vibes to move on, guys. Now, one of the things that Vishen Lakhiani from Mind Valley, or Bruce Lipton, or Joe Dispenza, all those amazing people, right, who always dabble on neuroscience and energy and high peak performance, they say is, if you want to get your vibes up high, or you want to make sure that your energy body is bright and colorful and intact and vibing really high with positive energy, you got to do just a couple of things that are so powerful but so basic. And the Vishen Lakhiani 6-phase meditation actually starts this way. That is, close your eyes and think of somebody that you have unconditional love for, or somebody who gives you unconditional love. When you see this person, or it could be a pet, you look at this person and then you already feel like, yeah, your face is glowing and you have got a smile that just comes on your face. And when I'm saying this, you actually thought of somebody, isn't it? It's that person right there. Yeah. Could be a dog, could be a cat, it could be your mom, it could be your partner, your sister, whoever it is. That person, think of that person immediately. Now you're already in the heart coherent stage. The second thing that you do is actually think of 3 to 5 things that you're grateful for. You can think of the general things, or the more specific that you get, or something that has happened very recently in your life can give you great benefits. So we say that write down the 5 magic things that you've witnessed for today, or some of the most amazing things that happened at work yesterday. I mean, no matter how fucked up you think your life is, which I probably think it isn't, but there is always something to be grateful about. It could be that little coffee that your colleague offered you in the morning, and that was like a sweet surprise. Or it could be the phone call from somebody, you're thinking about the person calls you, to be that. Or you wanted to buy something off Dubzel, or you wanted to buy something off Amazon, and suddenly you go log in and you say a 50% discount on that very item. Or you were thinking that this happens to me all the time, like, this is my bike, right? I ride a bike, and then I feel that the brake is a bit squeaky, and then the next morning I go there and I start my bike to get ready for work, and then all of a sudden everything works like perfectly fine. I don't know what the hell just happened, but everything is in working order. So stuff like that, little things. If you can actually think of those things, you're already in your heart, brain, head coherence. You're vibing so high. It's as simple as that. And the reason why it is great for you to write these things down is because that is the first way how you get your thoughts, your feelings, all of these energy, vibrational stuff into something that's tangible and material. Now, a lot of people say that the law of attraction doesn't work for them. And that's only because they're not right there in that space. They're not right there in that zone or the vortex, as Abraham Hicks would call it, because they are thinking about the things that they want to manifest in a low vibrational state. So you want to get there on your high vibrational state first. You want to get your heart, your brain, and your head all in coherence. And then you want to think about what you want to attract in life. And that is when your law of attraction works. So most often, if it doesn't work, that means the coherence is not there or you're vibing pretty low. All good, great, amazing. Let's go to the next slide. So we all agree that emotions and energy are connected. Boom. We all agree that it affects our vibrations. Boom. We also do agree that our human energy body field, that is our thoughts, our emotions, our beliefs, our attitudes, are composed of energy. And there are scientific equipments that can actually measure this. So boom, 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 boom. So what I'm going to tell you, what I'm telling you right now, it's not woo-woo, it's not cray-cray. It's all scientifically proven, and this is how it works. This is the law. You cannot change that. These are the very, very fundamental things that actually make us human. These range of emotions that we have, the colorful emotions that we have, because we are so special, and this is what makes us so different from the other beings that we share in this world. So, well, thank God for a range of emotions, because we can tweak them just like how you sit in a radio station, or you can tweak those little dials and actually you can play around with your vibrations and see what you get, what you manifest, and what comes up in your reality. When we talk about our range of emotions, what can be particularly challenging is actually trying to reach for the better feeling emotion. That's a trick to do that. And that's the first thing, the first tool that I want to talk about today. Anybody has driven their car in a fog? It's quite common in Dubai, in the UAE, when you are going from, from transitioning from winter to summer, or the other way around. We've only got 2 seasons over here. There's no autumn or spring. So, you've got foggy days, you've got rainy days across the world. Sometimes you've got like really bad thunderstorms in Singapore or in Melbourne, wherever you are watching this from. So what do? There is your destination. And then you also know that you want to get there. But then you know that your visibility is not quite there. You can actually see just about 10 or 20 meters. So what do? You first tackle the first 10 meters, and then you go on to the next 10 meters and 20 meters and so on. And that is how we drive, don't we? We don't really think that, it's going to be foggy all the day, I'm not going to move anywhere. Well, if it's really that bad, then you shouldn't be moving. But then there is a chance that you could actually drive to destination. Why not? You take it step by step. You go slow, but you take it step by step. You only see what's in front of you first. Correct? This is how we handle our journeys. And our life is no different, right? We always have to have something close to us that we can reach towards, a tangible checkpoint to keep us in our path so that we don't veer away. Just got to see what's in front of us and keep going, keep going, keep going. Now, this is called awareness, just being aware. Just like driving, guys, just like being aware of your surroundings, being totally in the moment. You don't want to be distracted. When you're in a fog, on a rain, nobody's looking at the phone. I mean, you must be really, really a bit cuckoo if you're doing it right there, if you're getting distracted with all the other equipments. But otherwise, your eyes are on the road, what's in front of you, and then you keep going, you keep powering through. So this is what would help us. This is the first tool that can actually help us be right there in our path and go ahead and reach for the next best emotion. Now, how many of you guys have actually heard of this emotional guidance scale? Don't worry if you can't read the tiny words over here. I will be sharing the scale. You can actually Google it, or I'll share it on our Instagram, and then you can blow it up and look at it. The emotional guidance scale was brought to us, or actually channeled by Abraham Hicks. And I find this really helpful because as human beings, we like to have a map. We like to see what's in front of us. We like to have little checkpoints that we can rely on. And that's how the emotional guidance scale becomes really, really useful. Let's go to the downward spiral first, yeah? So when we are looking at the downward spiral, if you look at the bottom end of the spiral, so Abraham Hicks has, we've got hundreds of emotions, but right here are 22 main emotions, if you'd like. So if you're going downward spiral, if you're feeling really, really terrible, if you're at the bottom end of the spiral, right at the bottom is fear, grief, depression, victimhood. You can't go below that. That's why people choose to end lives. They blame others. They do not want to get out of bed. They wake up and they're grumpy. They blame stuff on everybody. They feel like things are being done to them. They have absolutely no control of whatever is happening. So that is at the bottom. Now, how do we go from here to love and appreciation and happiness? No, you can't. It's a bit tough. So that is not the feeling that you want to reach for, right? You're at home and then you're like really anxious about reaching Abu Dhabi. Let's say you're in Sharjah, you're at home and you're like, it's foggy and you're looking at the destination in Abu Dhabi, 2-hour drive, and you're like, damn, I'm not going to get there. Yeah, if you're going to think like that, you're not going to get there. But then you're going to think your next petrol station. You're going to think the Dubai border. And then you're going to think that you're going to stop for a little bit of coffee along the way. And then you might, stop by the side of the road and then continue your drive bit by bit, step by step. And then before you know it, you're far from where you started. You've come a long way and you're in Abu Dhabi, where your destination is. So what's the next feeling that's right above fear, grief, and depression? Guilt and unworthiness. Yes, that's also a negative emotion, but it's so much better than fear, grief, and depression and a feeling of victimhood. So you try to reach for guilt, and then you try to reach for maybe even jealousy. If somebody has cheated on you, or if somebody has stolen your money and you want to feel angry about it, great. Now that's a better feeling than victimhood. Somebody has taken your money and you're feeling like, I'm so stupid. Like, how the hell did I'm good for nothing. I'm good for nothing. Then you say, no, I'm really frustrated. I'm really angry with this person. Now you're already in a better state than you were earlier. All right. You're right up. You're right close to the middle of the downward spiral. Great. Now keep going up. Keep going up. And then you could go up to disappointment, overwhelming, frustration, pessimism. Then you work yourself up the downward spiral. But the trick over here is to catch yourself. When you're feeling a negative emotion, you want to see which part of the downward spiral you are at so you can reach upward. That is what you want to do. Now let's look at the upward spiral. This is what happened to a lot of us at COVID. We were with worry, we were with blame, we were with getting overwhelmed with using all the online softwares and Zoom calls and I don't know, whatever, not all this new webcast softwares and meeting blah softwares that came about. So we're a little overwhelmed. We had our parents at home, we had the children at home, we had to do stuff, we had to cook, but at the same time do work, yeah. And then at a stage when we were on lockdown, we reached something called boredom. Now, boredom is right up there at the downward spiral, if you can see over here. And some of us, what happened after boredom was we didn't stay there. We actually started going the upward spiral. From boredom, the next one was contentment. We were like bored and then we were like content with life. Hey, you know what? Everything is okay. I think I can start learning new skills and do something interesting. I can be here. I feel more relaxed. And we started finding positive stuff about the lockdown that was happening, or COVID situation was happening. And then from contentment, we moved up to hopefulness, to optimism, to positive belief to enthusiasm. And then right at the top of the upward spiral is love and appreciation. Now you see how this works. It's like a ladder. You climb it rung by rung, not all the way to the top. You don't look up there and say, damn it, it's so high. Slowly, yeah? And then you finally get up there. Now, a lot of us are able to actually skip these steps. So you could be from contentment all the way to positive expectation, or you could be in like discouragement and then you go all the way to overwhelmment, still up there. So you got to just work yourself up the emotional guidance scale. And that really depends on your own experience and how things are working out for you. Everybody okay so far? We're good. We're on the same page. Amazing. Amazing. Now, the second tool that I would like to share with you guys today to get ahead of our negative emotions is none other than, oops, I'm sorry. What am I doing? Then feeling free. Now, I absolutely love one of the transformational coaches that we had on our show, Christian Byrne. I love what he says, that you have to understand your power. You have the choice. Now, a lot of people want money for something. You know, you ask people's goals. So what do you want in life? And they'll say lots and lots of money. But money is not exactly what they want. I mean, what are you going to do with money if you're sitting here in a house filled with money and you can't do anything about it? Or it's stuck there in a bank and you can't withdraw the cash. So usually when people ask for money, they actually crave the freedom of being able to do whatever they want or dream however big they want, because they know that they can use their money to achieve what they want in life. So it's actually the freedom that they crave, the feeling that they crave. See, money itself is not a feeling. So when I get people to set goals and set a journey, I ask them to reach out for the feelings rather than the material things, because the feeling of having something is what's gonna get you there. So you're trying to achieve the feeling while you're in a high vibrational state, when you're in the zone, and then that's what's going to get you there. So money is not usually the thing that people want. It's actually the freedom. And you don't need the money to understand that you're in power, you're in control, and you actually have the choice. You can't change external circumstances, but how you feel, how you think, what you believe, your perspective in life is all internal, and you're 1,000% in control of all of these things. So that is where freedom comes. You are never actually stuck in any situation. You can think of any situation in your life, whether it's in a relationship, whether you're in a job, or whether you're in a you went out for dinner with your friends and they brought you to a restaurant that you absolutely have no interest in, you do not want to be there. You've got a choice. You've got a choice to get out of the restaurant. You've got a choice to look at the menu a couple of times and actually find something that you like. You have a choice to actually say, hey, you know what, maybe I'm here for a good reason. Maybe I'm supposed to try something new. And then you take it, on your stride and actually try something new. And then what happens is actually change things. Now you have the power. You have made the choice to be there. So in any situation, you have multiple choices. And when you're dealing with somebody who is in the low vibrational state, or they are have severe feelings of self-doubt, or they feel like they are stuck, they've got nowhere to move, then one of the things that you can help them with, if you want, is getting them to see the number of choices they have right in front of them. And actually helps when just writing it down. Oh yeah, you're stuck in your job, really? Are you really stuck? Like, did somebody lock you there? Well, you have a choice to stay there and learn. You have a choice to move out and then still own your consequences. Maybe you'll be without a job for a couple of months, but even then, that's because of the choice that you made, and that's power right there. So you can show them that, or you can tell them that, you know what, you can be there and you can look for jobs, or there's multiple ways to handle whichever situation that we have in our life. So that power, that freedom, immediately takes us to a better feeling state, gets us out of the low vibrational mode. Tool number 3, It's a really cool picture. I was like giggling at it for a few minutes when I saw this. Perspective is everything. Now, this is a bit related to the earlier point about how there's freedom and power comes with the number of choices that we have. But this was something that Heath Myers, one of my mentors, actually put very well in his live video yesterday. So, in most countries, in most cities, wearing a mask is mandatory. Like right here in Dubai, in the UAE, you go to a petrol station, you go to a store right there, and if you're not wearing your mask, they do not serve you. So I was having a conversation with a friend the other day, and it's funny enough, it happened to both of us on the same day, right? So she was in some other store and I was in some other store, and then we wanted to get like a grab bottle of water or something really basic. Walk into the store, and they were like, "We're not serving you." Like, what? I've got the bottle here and I've got money here, but come on, just serve me. Like I'm just going to run out of the store right now. And then, they spent more time arguing with me on how they're not going to serve me and have me in the store for a longer time rather than just give me the damn bottle so I can walk out and get back to my isolated zone. I mean, just boom. We have this conversation often with Chris McLean is in Melbourne. Poor guys are dealing with another lockdown out there. Things are a bit crazier than some other cities. So, people wearing masks and when you're running and you're exercising, how difficult it is in the crazy weather to actually wear a mask. But perspective is how comes into play over here. You're not wearing a mask because someone told you so. You're wearing a mask because you respect other people's feelings. You do not want other people to be in a low vibrational state when they see you unmasked. So you don't want them to think, oh my God, my life is in danger. And then they go boop, down the vibrational scale. You don't want that happening. So you're being a hero by wearing a mask and making them feel safe. That's perspective. The third thing you can do is get yourself a funky mask. I mean, you don't have to wear that boring blue surgical mask. Get something that print your own face on the mask or print a funny picture. Print this Buddha. Do whatever you want, but get yourself a personalized mask so you don't feel bad about wearing it. So that's perspective. Now, immediately when you say something like that, you feel better about it, right? Because it was you who made the choice. And you made the choice because for the common good. You understand that other people are low vibing and you don't want them to low vibe, or you don't want them to get upset and angry with you. You don't want to have an argument with the guy at the store because it's not just you who's getting upset. It's the guy behind the counter as well because, he's just trying to do his job. That's what he got from his management. So now that you have made your choice and you have made your choice to make others feel less uncomfortable, you're vibing high up there, much better than how you were feeling. All right, guys, good, amazing, all good, all good. So I can't believe we are 40 minutes in. I was actually planning for a 20-minute webinar, but pardon me, it's my first time, I get carried away. But I hope everything is getting across, everyone is on board, so we can go on. Now, let's look at the fourth tool that can get us vibing high. I absolutely love this. And Yara is actually watching this right now. And this is something that I picked up from her. She's a Theta healer. And this is all about asking the question. When you're facing a challenge in life, when you've got somebody who you've texted and hasn't replied to you, or you've asked for a pay raise and your boss isn't responding, or you have gone through 100,000 applications in your job hunt and you're not getting any reply, ask yourself this question, specific question: what's the worst thing that can happen when I do not get a reply from this person? What's the worst thing that can happen if I'm wearing a mask when I go out? What's the worst thing that can happen if I do not have a job for the next 2 weeks? Now, don't go all dramatic and say that, I'm going to die. No, usually that's not the case. Usually it'll be like, the worst thing that can happen is I can't pay my bill. So what's the worst thing that can happen? I'll probably get a fine. So what's the worst thing that can happen? I'll feel terrible about it because I've got to pay it. I don't have money at the moment. So what's the worst thing that can happen? And you go on and on and on. And then we go Ask this question to yourself, which could, you could probably annoy yourself if somebody asks you this. You get annoyed with that person. But then when you do it enough number of time, two things can happen. Number one, you realize that it's not that big a deal. Actually, you're just making a mountain out of a molehill. Or number two, that will help you find a pattern in your life that could possibly be your bottom belief. That's something that's hidden in your subconscious, and you actually brought it out with all these questions. And that is something that you can take it up as challenge to deal with it. And there are multiple ways to deal with it. So there are some of the things that we do in Unconscious Podcast. We connect you with our amazing certified guides, so you can get help. And what the best part about it is, you get like free 20-minute sessions, so you can pick and choose whether you want to do quantum coaching, you want to do theta healing, you want to do transformational coaching, you want to do psychotherapy. Just pick and choose 20 minute. Or actually, you know what, I'm going to go with quantum coaching. Or you know what, I'm going to go with meditation, whatever it is. And then you can bring yourself out of the bottom belief. That's what can happen. Or when you realize that you're really not in the worst of a situation, and then you can get yourself, use the emotional skill and get yourself high vibing again. And the third thing you can do is, when you're doing this exercise of what's the worst thing that can happen, you're writing it down, you're actually transferring your energy on paper. And this is what I was telling you a little while ago, right? Whatever energy you have right there, you're transferring on paper. And then your bad feeling, your negative emotions, you can literally crush them and throw it away, or you can burn them, and then you feel it like dissipate or let it go. This is this really cute story that I wanted to share with you. So a guy actually went to a monk, and he was asking, like, how do I deal with these negative emotions, the anger that I have, the anxiety that I have? I do not want to feel this way. And then the monk actually said, you know what, write it down on a piece of paper, all these negative emotions that you're feeling at the moment, and then burn it. The guy's like, what is that supposed to do? I mean, I don't believe it. Just by writing it on a paper, I'm supposed to be transferring my emotions on a paper? That really doesn't work. How can a paper and a pen and ink actually hold my emotions? The monk was like, listen, do you have any kids? He's like, yeah, I've got a daughter. She's beautiful. She's 5 years old. That's nice. Do you love her? Yeah, I do. Of course I do. Right, she loves you. Oh, she's absolutely gorgeous. She loves me. Actually, the other day, she drew pictures for me. Funny, wonky little wobbly figures, but it was of me. I love it. They said, does your daughter often write you cards and birthday cards and pictures? Yeah, she does it every year. I mean, she does it whenever she can. She comes back home from a nursery and she does it. So where are all these pictures? It's pinned on my refrigerator. Throw it all away. Why? Why am I going to do that? It's just paper, isn't it? It's nothing. Doesn't mean anything. No, it means something to me. I mean, whenever I feel it, I feel love. I feel my daughter. I feel... You just said that transferring stuff onto paper doesn't mean anything. Why are you holding onto this thing and sticking it on your refrigerator with a magnet? How's that supposed to make you feel? How does that make you feel? Happy? The guy was like, oh yeah, I see what you're getting at. I see how that works. So I love that story. This is brilliant, isn't it? It's about getting your emotions on paper, and that is the fourth tool that I have for you today. So write it down. I hope you're all on the same page. Everything great. Guys who are watching this, give me a thumbs up. Tell me, let me know how you're feeling, so I know that I am speaking to human beings and everything is going well. All good? All well? Yes? Going good? Great. Let's jump on it. Now, the fifth tool that I have for you guys is something that I spoke about on IGTV a couple of days ago, and we have been posting about this as well. And this is about how when we are young, we are actually excited about everything that happens in life, whether it's about, taking that early flight the next day, or it's about getting on a horse and riding a horse for the first time, or jumping into a pool of water when we don't even think if we know how to swim. It's okay if we are riding a bicycle or a skateboard and we fall down, we scrape our knee. That's not going to stop us from doing it the second time. And just no fear. Everything is just excitement. But then we start getting older, all of these things that I've just talked about when we were young, we feel anxious about it. Getting a flight in the morning, it's all about, oh, am I going to be there on time? Is everything going to be there? Good. Okay. In the immigration, are they going to serve me the food that I ordered? But right now with the COVID situation, am I even going to get a flight ticket? Oh, is the guy going to be able to recognize me to pick me up from the airport? Anxiety, 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 doubt, doubt, doubt. Then you keep thinking about the future. You're not living in the moment, and all that excitement sort of dissipates. And then your holiday, actually, you just shrunk your holiday because most of it you spend just being anxious about every little thing. That's why kids enjoy holidays more. They remember a lot of things that happen in their holiday, so much of positive emotions, and they love it, right? So getting on a horse, it's not about fear. For them, it's about trying on something new. For us, it's about breaking a leg or the horse bucking and us falling off or somebody laughing because we're not able to do something right. So when we get older, responsibilities, commitment, learned behaviors, stories that other people tell us, the experiences that other people share with us. Oh, you know something? Yeah, do never ever ride a bike. This is what people used to tell me. What? You're getting a bike license? You're gonna die. Never take a bike license. It's so expensive in Dubai. The heat, you can't ride and you're going to fall. You're too short. You're this, you're that. You're so many stuff to make us feel anxious. Then you realize that these are the experiences of other people. That is their story. That is their truth. I respect it, bro. I'm okay with it, dude. But it's not my story. I write my own story, yeah? So you and the best part about anxiety and excitement is what I had mentioned in my video is they actually evoke the same reactions in our body. When you're anxious, when you're excited, they're on both ends of the spectrum, but you feel that your heart is racing. That is the feeling number one that you get. And then you see that your cortisol surges, gets you prepared for action. So these three emotions happened when these three reactions happen, even when you're anxious, when you're excited. So this is what we call arousal congruence. And that is a great advantage because now you can trick your brain. Whenever you're feeling anxious, you can actually tell your brain, no, that's not anxiety, that's excitement. I'm feeling excited about riding the horse. I'm excited about my holiday. I am excited about the text message that I'm going to receive because that person is going to say yes. It's going to be positive. I'm excited about it. It's not anxiety. I'm waiting reply from my from a boss about the pay raise or for the new job that I always wanted. I'm feeling excitement for all the new things that are going to unfold in my life. And these are the 5 I have. Guys, remember, this video is going to be saved. You can watch it anytime. I'm going to upload it on Instagram, on IGTV as well. So don't worry about it. If you just jumped like in the middle of this live, but I would like to end the webinar that actually went far more than how I had planned it. So I need to do better planning. Or if you think it was boring or whatever it is, or I should keep it shorter, or actually I should do it for an entire 1 hour, just pop it in the comments so I know how we can take this further the next time. Thank you for joining. But before I end the webinar today, I'd like to introduce this beautiful lady. If you haven't met her before, her name is Pema Chodron, and she is just so lovely. Oh my God, she is lovely. She is a Buddhist monk, and she hails from the US. And this is what she says. She says, in life, try to respect your emotions, mother them, try to treat them as parents. A lot of us, when we feel negative emotions, we try to suppress them. We tell ourselves, I'm not supposed to feel this way. I'm not supposed to feel anxious. I'm not supposed to feel fear. It's okay to feel it. And when you recognize these emotions, try to get them up the scale, or at the very best, just treat them with a smile and with all the love that you have. Joe Vitale says that the Ho'oponopono way of doing things is, I love you, I thank you, and I apologize, and I'm sorry that you're feeling this way. Just acknowledge it. But at the same time, Pema also says that welcome them, don't suppress them, treat them with so much love and say, hey, you know what? I recognize you. Your anxiety, isn't it? Oh, welcome back. Hi. But it's not them. Those emotions are not you. Immediately put a smile on your face, recognize that they are being there. Ask your body, treat your body like a child. There's one of the journaling exercises I used to do with Yara, which is amazing. Treat yourself like a child and ask yourself what you would like. What are the steps that you can take to soothe your inner child? Make yourself some tea, run yourself a bath, get yourself some chocolate if that's what's going to make you feel better, or a dessert, whatever it is. Treat the anxiety or the negative emotion, any negative emotion, with compassion, but do not suppress. And I'd like to end it with this quote: to be fully alive, fully human, and completely awake is to be continually thrown out of the nest. So if anybody is telling you, I'm always vibing high, I'm always in party mood, I'm always, happy, they're most probably not telling you the truth. Yeah. The best part about life is getting out of the vibe, getting back in, getting out of the vibe, getting back in. And that's what life all about. It throws you off the course. But then with practice, with awareness, with more consciousness, you get back into your zone. You get back into the vortex, as Abraham Hicks would say. You get back into the high flying flow, as Stephen Kotler would say, multiple names, but the same thing. You would get back really quickly. The time it takes for you to get back from the low vibe to the high vibe gets shorter and shorter and shorter. And that's where you know you're truly, truly facing an amazing transformation. So thank you so much, guys. And I hope you enjoyed and learned something from this webinar. And if you did, then pop it in the comments, share it with your friends, and show some love across Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, or Facebook, whichever channels you are at. And also, if you're going on the major podcast channels, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, we are there as well. And thank you so much for your time. And I hope to see you soon in another show and webinar. Thank you so much for being with me today, and have a great, great high vibing day.